The all-electric Hummer is coming. It weighs more than 4 tons, gets to 60 miles per hour in 3 seconds, has a 200 kilowatt-hour battery and will take you more than 350 miles on a charge. All-wheel steering, 35-inch tyres, cameras all around and modular roof panels. But is there a place on the road for a machine like this? Is it the Awesome Abomination?
Hello and welcome to EV Platform. You've clicked at the title, you've seen the thumbnail. Today we're talking about the Hummer EV, and the question that we're asking is it an awesome abomination? Also, stay around to the end. We're going to have an interview with Steve from Plug and Play EV to give us that US perspective, not just two Irish guys chatting here about an American icon. So let's get started.
So welcome along to us on a conversation about the Hummer today. We're really going to be talking about the first edition. So this is a really, really fast one, the high spec and high price one as well. Let's jump into some of the numbers. Now we're talking about a massively powerful vehicle here, in and around 1,000 horsepower. This thing is just crazy. The SUV is going to be able to do the 0 to 60 miles an hour sprint in 3.5 seconds. The truck is going to get you even faster there in 3 seconds flat. Like, this thing is just incredible. And it's going to need a pretty good battery to go with it as well. Derek, do you want to tell us a little bit about charging, battery and range?
Pretty good battery, pretty big battery, a battery that can take a quick charge, tick, tick, and tick. We have a 200 kilowatt hour battery, which is large by any means. The SUV is going to have a 300 mile GM are saying range, and the pickup is going to have a 350 mile. The SUV is going to take charging of DC up to 300 kilowatts. And then the pickup is going to have a 350 kilowatt charging capability. Now, obviously, these are all curves, but it is just every dimension, every criteria of this truck is just massive. Speaking of dimensions, Blake, what are we talking? How big is it on the road?
It's truly gigantic. Now, I know, as we said already, we're getting Steve in later on to give us a US perspective. But for the two of us here sitting, based in Ireland and haven't spent a lot of time, in Europe and driving around Europe, we just don't get these kind of things. This is a 4.1 ton vehicle, nearly 10,000 pounds. Like, this thing is just incredible. The pickup is going to be 217 inches long, like, just gigantic. Even the height of it, it's going to be like nearly a foot taller than I am. This thing is just huge. But Derek, I even feel heavy talking about the thing. Maybe just jump inside the car. Tell us a little bit about the tech and the software in it.
I don't think you are that heavy, but just give me the weight of it before we move on. How heavy is it?
4,103 kilograms.
Okay. Inside, and it's not just a brute on the road, it's not just big and brash, it has some decent tech involved in it. So it has GM's Super Cruise, which is the rival to Tesla's Autopilot, and you get 3 years free subscription with that. It also has 2 screens, one for the driver and one for infotainment. They're both set horizontally or landscape. The driver's one is 12.3 inches, and then the main infotainment middle screen is 13.4 inches. It also has Ultra Vision. So Ultra Vision is 18 cameras all around, and that includes one underneath. And you might be going, Derek, I'm going to be like going off-road on this. It's going to be taking a lot of abuse underneath there. Don't worry, it has a removable and replaceable lens cover. So lots of tech on the inside. What's it like, Blake, with regards to, actually, before we move to Blake, on the inside and the outside, inside you're also going to have the ability, aesthetically wise, it's going to be very similar to the traditional Hummer that was out 20 odd years ago, as in it is wide, it has this massive center console down the middle, but you have 2 kind of aesthetic looks inside. You have lunar shadow and lunar horizon, so referencing the moon, but I don't think there's a rocket out there that'll be able to put this on the moon. So it is massive. It also has all-weather flooring, so it is targeting that off-road rugged kind of marketplace, and I suppose aesthetically outside it's matching that as well as inside. Is that right, Blake?
Yeah, like, this thing is just a bodybuilder on the road. Like, a lot of these videos we talk about the curves of the Ioniq 5 over some of the lines in the Kia EV6. We're not doing that here. This thing is just a big freezer going through the air. Aerodynamics does not come into play here. Even the windscreen is just bowled almost upright. It's just a really, really rugged look. You can even see the steel under plates, from because it's got a pretty high approach angle as well. This thing is it's supposed to be bold on the roads. They want you to know that this is a 4-ton vehicle. Absolutely gigantic. It's got a pretty cool touches as well. Like there's kind of a modular roof panels that you can take off and stuff into the front. So it will have a different appearance depending on whatever weather, and if you want to take the roof panels off or not. But yeah, big and bold on the road. People looking up at the photographs and the videos there on screen now, they're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, maybe just mention because this is so rugged, the off-road capabilities of this and what it can do, and GM have called it the extreme off-road package. And what it can do. So it's got good wading depth in water. It's got this really cool feature called crab walk. So you'll be able to see that up on screen there. And the back wheels can turn 10 degrees. So this car can shift diagonally, help a little bit to steer when you're in a car park maybe. But also when you're off-road as well, if you're trying to get over some pretty rugged terrain. And talking about rugged terrain, the approach angles are absolutely huge as well. And you're getting over these obstacles on 35-inch tires. And you can even fit aftermarket spec tires at 37 inches. So this thing has got some pretty good capabilities off-road. Perhaps you would like to see it a bit lighter than 4,100 kilos to get over some softer conditions. But it's pretty impressive. And also the price is impressive, Derek. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Impressive is a word, Blake. Yeah, you can either win the lottery or be an NFL player. But the first editions, which is the ones that you pre-order, reservations full on the pickup. SUV reservations full as well. So the pickup is coming the end of this year, Q3, kind of fall, as they would say in America. And that had a retail sticker price of $112,595. When that comes to market, it will be between 80 and 100,000. So even though the first editions are both of them are over 100,000, with the pickup being, or the SUV version being 106,000, nearly 106,000. But again, when it comes to market, it'll be sub 100,000. But you're talking starting at 80,000. So a lot of money. There's going to be a couple of different trims coming along. While we're here sitting in Europe looking at this across the water, why don't we get in Steve from Plug and Play EV to tell us a bit more about what he thinks about the Hummer, what's it like over there, and seeing them actually on the road, because we don't see them over here. So we welcome back Steve from Plug and Play EV on YouTube, at the YouTube channel. You remember, Steve, when we had him on from the Ford F-150 Lightning, and I'll put the link on the screen and in the description. But Steve, we're talking today about this American icon, and you're our American icon. The fact, even though you're not American, you're UK based in Boston. But thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and as I say, thanks for naturalizing me without the bureaucracy of that.
Very good. Steve, tell us a little bit, just to take a step back for a moment, about the original kind of gas Hummer in the US, because we just don't really get these over in Europe. A couple of millionaires brought them in as toys on a helicopter or something like that. But who drives them, and what are they used for? Or just tell us a little bit about the background of the gas ones.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would have been in the UK, at the same time when the original one came out, turn of the century. But it was very much kind of associated with that California Arnold Schwarzenegger macho. It kind of represents the pinnacle, I think, of gas guzzling big monster truck SUV things. And then kind of after that, you see the rise of the Prius, and much more focus on the kind of things that we appreciate today, air quality, and actually using gas efficiently. So for that to go to an electric version now, and still be that monster truck is, they're calling it the first electric super truck. This is quite a transition. So, it's going to be interesting to see. I certainly think there'll be some crossover from the original, but it is a completely different beast in terms of powertrain and what it represents for the future of, automotive sector.
Mm.
The question I have for you, Steve, is do you think that there would be people out there, buyers out there, that would be traditionally looking at a combustion engine, large luxury SUV, that may be tempted over to the EV version of this Hummer?
It's difficult to say, really. I mean, it delivers the power and the performance. So I think in the same way that you see in traditional, luxury sports car buyers and Porsche move over to the Taycan, maybe we'll start to think about, people going for the all electric super truck if they were in the market for that six-figure, super powerful truck SUV format. But there's still going to be a stigma. I don't think the people who buy the high-end kind of Dodge, Ford, Chevy, GMC trucks are necessarily, going to be convinced by the first kind of all electric super truck. I think there's going to be more work to do with them. They'll still want that, high-powered gas, ability to tow. They don't want to change, to charging, all that kind of thing. So they're going to face a fight there. But as a status symbol and a kind of luxury vehicle, I think it won't take much to bring people across, because it has the tech, it has the power and performance, and it just brings it into a very modern vehicle format. So there they might have some conquest.
Yeah. And the last time we had you on, Steve, we were talking about the F-150 Lightning, which, despite being a massive vehicle, still had a lot of functionality to it. When you looked at the size of the front and the power sockets in the back and the towing, etc. Does the Hummer offer anything? Does it add to that?
Yeah, I mean, it's been designed as this kind of outdoor adventure truck, so maybe it's more in line with Rivian in that sense. It's kind of important to understand how, that big and diverse the truck buying market is. There's everyone from the fleets and the work crews that we talked about before, to the outdoor adventure, to the people who just want a massive vehicle to show off. So, it may be some crossover there, but the the important thing to note, I think, is that it's it can do a lot of things, but there are other vehicles maybe at a lower price point that can be much more functional, like the F-150, much more kind of designed for outdoor use and practical, like the Rivian with all its camping partnerships and, outdoor kitchen stuff. So probably in most use cases, you're going to find something that does it better for maybe cheaper. So that may be a struggle unless GM can bring that price down a bit more quickly.
Steve, with the administration and their focus on green at the moment, and electric this and electric that, and fleets and charging, and so much money being talked about being put into infrastructure, do you think that this Hummer has a place on US roads?
I think it's going to find a niche, but I see it more as a kind of halo aspirational vehicle, something that'll have the technology that we want to see in other vehicles. But unless, as I say, Jim can get that price down, I think it's going to be quite a small, piece of the puzzle. So while it's great to see, all the specs and going to, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds with watts to freedom and all the things that, kind of blow the mind, I don't see a lot of people stumping up their hard-earned cash for, something that's more of a toy when it comes down to the, buying decision.
Okay, yeah. And then you're just talking about the amount of money this is going to cost, but then just let's find a place for this within the competition. You've got the Rivian, the Cybertruck, obviously the F-150 Lightning that we had you on about a few weeks ago. Are people going to take this over the other one, or where is it going to fit in? Who's going to buy it?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Everything is cheaper than the Hummer EV, really. They've still got to deliver these trucks. It's kind of, we talk of them like they're fact and they're on the roads already. The Cybertruck is in no more production ready than the Hummer EV at this point. So we'll have to see who actually delivers on the promises. But it's a 6-figure truck, and that's a very small part of the market in a lot of ways. So it'll be up there. It'll be considered maybe alongside people seeing what Lucid come up with, seeing what Rivian can deliver in the high-end top-tier trucks, and even maybe the Ford F-150 Lightning. As we say, people do buy that luxury truck, but it's going to have to do something a bit special to really be the thing that people go for, away from just a more standard top-tier truck.
Thanks so much for your time today, Steve. As I have on the screen there, subscribe to Plug and Play EV on YouTube. We really do appreciate your opinion, and especially the fact that myself and Blake can't get over there yet to have an on-site inspection, but we look forward to meeting you in face-to-face one day. Make sure that you subscribe, and thanks so much again.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve.
It was great to have Steve tune in and dial into that and have that chat with them. Blake, we've asked it at the start of the video, we've asked it in the thumbnail, we've asked it in the title. Let me know what you think. Is it awesome, or is it an abomination?
It's both, Derek. It's both. Like I've been quite complimentary about some of the features, on the crab walk, and saying it's pretty cool. And how, we've got a vehicle here that can get to 60 miles an hour in 3 seconds. Some of the features and the tech in it are really nice, and it's going to do something positive in that it's going to shift some people from gas guzzlers over to electric. So it's awesome in that sense. I think it's just the specs on it, but then isn't it an abomination? Like, do we need a car that's not a car, a vehicle that's 4,103 kilograms on the road that can go so quickly with so much weight? The danger to other vehicles on the road if this thing hits a pedestrian, that front grille is going straight into the head of a child in the event of a crash or one walking across the road. Do we need things like this on the road? who can justify it really? Because it's only going to be a toy. Yeah, Derek, I think it's a bit of both, unfortunately, and I'm not sure that it has a place. But look, I'm going to stop talking about it. Tell me what you think.
You're sitting on the fence there, Blake, and I'm going to have to join you on that fence because awesome, yes, there's a lot of cool features, and like you said, if it gets somebody out of a combustion engine, large luxury SUV, the only good thing about it is because of that price tag, you're not going to see too many of them on the road. There are going to be in certain markets. They're only going to be suitable for certain types of people. So GM aren't going to make millions and billions on the back of this vehicle, but it is their apex machine. It is going to be the one that they're going to talk about the most. It had that Super Bowl ad, if I remember correctly. So it is going to be awesome in that sense, but an abomination, absolutely. Look at all the natural resources that it's going to take to make the battery this big, make a vehicle this big. Should that be used for an e-bike or e-scooters or all these other things that we could utilize those resources for? So potentially, are we misaligning resources? But like what you're saying, Blake, if it stops one person buying a combustion engine vehicle, it's a win in our eyes, but could the resources be utilized elsewhere for better uses for more people? Yes, as well. But it's been made. People have bought it or reserved it anyway. Let us know in the comments what you think. We know that it's going to light up with all the back and over, hopefully. Hopefully you've enjoyed this chat about the Hummer EV. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Give us a like. This has been Evening Platform.
Thanks for watching.
Comment below. The comment section is going to light up for this, I can tell already. Thanks so much for watching. This has been EV Platform. This has been EV Platform, and then Blake will come in with thanks for watching.
Sorry, I didn't realize. Are we recording?
Yeah.
I didn't need to. This is we're getting snappy, Derek. You don't even need me to talk at the end.
I'm saving this for the outtakes, and I'll put the beep in where I said there.